If you committed a hit and run, there are two possible ways you could proceed. One, if you have not been caught for fleeing the scene of an accident, schedule a phone consultation with us by clicking below. Your situation may involve a call into the police because the other driver got your license plate. If so, the police are coming. On the other hand, it is possible nobody saw the accident. Now keep in mind, there are now surveillance cameras all over the place. The police will be examining camera footage to pick up your license plate. If you were caught for a hit and run and received a summons, fill out the form on our website or call us to hire our defense attorneys. You will need representation to work with the prosecutor in getting the best result. Hit and run is not a traffic violation. It is a real criminal charge that carries up to 6 months in jail. Hit and run cases get resolved in many different ways, and we have seen it all. We know how to get the best results for our clients in hit and run cases. Hit and run is when a driver fails to stop after being in an accident, give his information, and provide reasonable aid. It does not matter who caused the accident. The driver must stop or else it's a hit and run. Also, he must stop at the scene of the accident. He can't drive down the street or go back home. People flee the scene of an accident for a few common reasons. Nevertheless, if they catch a criminal charge for a hit and run, you're not required to make statements as to why you fled the scene. This is one very important reason you need a lawyer. Your lawyer will help you navigate this issue when it goes to court so you don't dig yourself a deeper hole. The most common reasons people flee the scene are pretty much as follows. First of all, drunk driving. Most people who get hit and run charges for fleeing the scene of an accident were worried about getting a DWI, so they took off instead of sticking around for the handcuffs. They were either drinking alcohol or smoking weed before or during driving and knew the situation would get pretty sticky soon. The second most common reason we see hit and runs are warrants. If a driver knows he has a warrant for his arrest for failing to appear at a court date, or he knows there's an active arrest warrant, he might flee the scene. He knows that if he sticks around the police come to investigate the accident, the cop will run his name, see the warrant, and arrest the driver for the warrant. A third common reason is the driver was just in a rush. It's common for someone to flee the scene when they just don't want to spend the time to wait for the officer to show up and do the paperwork. This scenario usually happens when the driver bumps a parked car. The driver usually looks at his vehicle to see if there's any damage and then walks away. Surveillance video in the parking lot usually shows it all. Regardless of the actual reason for committing a hit and run, the driver always says he didn't stop because he was scared of the other driver. This may be true or not. It really doesn't matter. Prosecutors and judges pretty much expect that to be the reason anyway because everyone says it. Keep in mind, prosecutors and judges have seen many hit and run cases go through the system. They've heard it all. However, it may be reasonable that a driver would be scared to stop. The way people are these days, the driver that got hit might be in a mood to do some serious harm. And the driver that caused the wreck may figure that it's not worth it to see if the person he hit is a reasonable or is a crazy jerk. In the parking lot scenario, the driver that bumped the other car always claims, "I didn't know that I hit another car." This is a reasonable excuse. Cars bump each other all the time in parking lots when the driver doesn't know he bumped it. Especially considering the size of SUVs and trucks, a minor bump could go undetected. But if you get out of the car after a bump, there may be a parking lot camera watching you dust off the paint from your bumper. Hit and run cases vary in seriousness and penalties. The law in Louisiana provides for misdemeanor hit and run and felony hit and run. So let's discuss these. Misdemeanor hit and run carries a possible jail sentence of up to 6 months and/or a fine of up to $500. This is not a traffic violation. Do not just go to court and plead guilty. We know how to work deals to protect you and possibly get the charge reduced or dismissed. Also, you'll have consequences regarding your insurance coverage issues and paying for the damage. Hit and run cases can get quite involved as the issues tend to overlap. Felony hit and run charges occur when death or serious bodily injury occurs as a result of the accident. The penalties get severe. The Louisiana law states that the defendant shall be fined not more than $5,000 and/or imprisoned with or without hard labor for not more than 10 years. The courts take felony hit and run extremely seriously. Many judges hand out prison time for this charge. If you've been involved in a hit and run in Louisiana, contacting a defense attorney is an excellent way to ensure that you get the best result in your case. The law can get very harsh on defendants charged with hit and run. These criminal charges are often extremely severe, and if you have been accused of a hit and run, you should not take any chances. We defend clients with hit and run cases all throughout Louisiana, so if you need our help, give us a call.